This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Missy Kohler. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Welcome. It's September 11th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Kohler. Thanks so much for stopping by News 25 tonight. We're glad you're with us.
Well, 19 years ago today, terrorists used jetliners to wage the largest attack ever on American soil. 4 passenger jets were hijacked that day. 2 were flown into the World Trade Center towers in New York City, causing the collapse of both of those towers. Another crashed into the Pentagon, and the 4th crashed into a field in rural Pennsylvania as passengers and crews tried to regain control of the plane. In all, nearly 3,000 people were killed in the attacks, and 19 years later, it's a day no one will forget.
At Fire Station number 1 today and throughout the fire department stations in Pahrump, we're remembering 9/11. We are just having more of an internal reflection today. COVID has changed or altered our course for getting groups together to talk about 9/11 and have the remembrance. So today we're just going to be displaying our tower ladder, which, as you may recall, was 117 out of Queens and served at both World Trade Center events. And our crews will be in and out of the stations all day. The Rotary is out front, and they brought coffee and donuts in for the firefighters, which is just great. The Sheriff's Office is over visiting with us for a little while this morning. And yeah, we're just going to get through the day together as a team. We always have a tendency to think of 9/11 as a single day, and unfortunately we still have firefighters and police officers still passing away from the effects of working on the pile, and that number of firefighters continues to grow. And I think that's something we need to remember. This is not an isolated day, that again, here we are so many years later and we're still talking about people dying from it.
What do you say to your firefighter paramedics here today?
Remember our brothers, and also remember that life is fragile. At any given moment's notice, any incident can cause death and or cause serious injuries and dismay to our families. So we want to make sure we take all those necessary steps to be safe and careful, and to remember what our other firefighters and police officers have gone through to get us here today.
At this time on September 11, 2001, a second hijacked commercial airliner was intentionally flown into the South Tower of the World Trade Center. I ask that you join me in a moment of silence in honor of those who died, including 343 firefighters. Never let them leave our hearts, never let them leave our thoughts. Be safe, thank you, and thank you for your service.
Members of Pahrump Valley Rotary Club also gathered to remember the events of 9/11, and Rotarians are proud to have established a first responders reflection area to honor our local first responders.
We're just having a little remembrance here in front of the fire station. Brought coffee and donuts to the firefighters, waving our flags, letting everybody know that this is a very important day in America. And don't forget, we decided about 4 years ago that there really wasn't a memorial in town for that. And for our first responders, who are very important. They're basically the backbone of our community. So we put it together, and it breaks our heart that we really can't use it this year, but, 1 year, we're still remembering, we'll make it work. We love our sheriffs, we love our fire people, we love our search and rescue. They're the ones that you call. You know what? When everything else goes completely to heck and you've got nowhere else to turn, they're there for you.
I'm here because 9/11 was very dear to my heart, and I don't want anybody to forget. This is the 19th year since 9/11, and we've been out here, trying to help people remember, be sure they don't forget. That's the message.
Well, today is 9/11, September 11th, and we look back at 2001 when we lost a lot of Americans and other visitors to our country, and it was something that we'll never forget, and we should never forget. This is a day of remembrance, and that's what it's all about, and that's why we're out here as Rotarians. We're out here as citizens. We're out here as Americans.
It's a great honor for me to be with the Rotary today here in Pahrump in order to help us remember and celebrate this day of sadness and sorrow.
Well, Nye County Sheriff Sharon Worley, in a video posted to Facebook, also had a message in remembrance of 9/11's anniversary.
This morning we gather once more to remember the events of September 11th, 2001. Most anyone over the age of 21 remembers where they were and what they were doing when they learned that the United States was being attacked. Most everyone remembers the shock, the anguish, the anger, the resolve, the coming together as a nation and as one people. There was an abrupt American philosophy change that day. Freedom is not free. It is paid for commodity. It's precious and priceless. It's paid for with the blood, courage, tenacity, conscious resolve of our military, our first responders, and our citizen volunteers, past and present. And if our citizens intend for this great land, this society to endure, freedom will continue to cost the lives of our loved ones, our military, our first responders, and our citizens. Many people died to give us the freedom we have. Many people have died protecting that freedom through the years, in many places, many wars, just as our young military men and women are doing today. We, the first responders, do at home every day. We're dedicated to protecting our way of life, our people, and our communities, and the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state in which we live.
We'll be right back.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Star Nursery, your garden's partner for every bloomin' thing. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back. JPMorgan Chase fires several employees accused of taking money from the SBA loan programs. The number of workers applying for unemployment falls below 1 million, and Navistar is on the road to a takeover. Angela Miles has the details.
Topping our news, several employees have been fired at JPMorgan Chase for allegedly breaking the law. The bank this week disclosed finding a number of employees who improperly applied for and then deposited money into their personal bank accounts from the Small Business Association's Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. That government program was created to help small businesses hurt by the coronavirus crisis. In the latest unemployment news, 857,000 Americans recently filed for unemployment for the first time. It's encouraging news as that number breaks below 1 million during the pandemic. More than 55 million workers have applied for unemployment benefits. And Navistar is on the road to a takeover. A subsidiary of Volkswagen is raising its takeover bid of Navistar from $35 per share to $43 per share. That company already owns nearly 17% of Navistar.
Well, prompt VFW Post 10054 also marked the 9/11 anniversary with a special ceremony. Post Commander Marty Aguiar says it's important to remember the lives lost and the heroes who came forward that day.
Today we're doing our post 9/11 remembrance. 19 years ago, 2,977 people lost their lives due to the terrorist attacks at the World Trade Center. And, you know, this one's important to me this year, especially because with all the chaos that we've got going around the country, we need to remember. We said we wouldn't forget, and I don't want to forget. And I want to recognize all the police officers and everyone else that's out there that works every single day so hard to take care of us and take care of our community.
19 years ago on this date, September the 11th, which has been seared into America's memory, 19 devils attacked us with a barbaric, unequaled in our nation's history. They murdered people of all colors, creeds, and nationalities and made war upon the entire free world. Sadly, 9/11 has become the modern generation's Pearl Harbor.
We had heroes that were they just came out of the woodwork, you know, and we want to remember that, and we never want to forget it.
A rollover crash early this morning in Pahrump leaves 2 people trapped in their overturned vehicle. It happened at the intersection of Highway 372 and Bunch Street, where the vehicle just missed crashing into a satellite dish at Suddenlink.
Pahrump Fire was dispatched for a report of a one vehicle rollover, the vehicle resting on its roof, was unknown status of the occupants. As crews were arriving on location, they found that the vehicle actually had 2 people that were physically entrapped. The crews assessed, completed an extrication, which was done within approximately 2 minutes after arrival. Both patients were assessed on scene. One was transported to the local hospital. It impacted a stationary object, a fence, and it was right next to where there's a small satellite location for some cable companies.
The cable company didn't have any interruption of service, or do you
Not to our knowledge.
We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Nye Communities Coalition is working to improve the safety of children riding in vehicles. Periodically, the organization sponsors free child car seat inspections and installations. Dozens of parents turned out for the latest event held at Pahrump Valley Auto Plaza, and those we spoke to say that they're thankful for the program.
So today the simplicity of it is making sure that kids are in car seats that are safe for them and that they're safely installed. And if they needed a car seat, that we were able to provide that car seat today.
We partnered today here with Pahrump Valley Auto Plaza to bring our car seat event back to Pahrump. We haven't had one for a while, so we've done a lot of grants that we've put together. We've done some fundraising. Pahrump Valley Auto was gracious enough to give us some funding to buy car seats for the event today and host us here. And we're going to end up doing about 50 car seats here today between inspections and installations.
You know, people don't understand that if your car's in a crash or that car seats expire, they need to make sure that you have a new car seat. And so making sure you check the expiration date. We saw that several times today where we had folks in expired seats that we were able to provide them a new seat because it's vital to have that safety infrastructure in that car.
Number one, we want to make sure that the kids are safe. So we inspect the seats that they come in with to make sure that those are the proper seats and that they're installed correctly. If not, we give them new seats for that child to make sure that it's the proper seat for that child. But because of most of what we see is improper installation, and then even when the seat might be installed properly, the child is not harnessed properly in the seat. So we teach them exactly what to do to make sure that's all done correctly.
It was amazing. They helped me out a lot.
What did you get installed today?
A booster seat for my son.
I love it. I think it's great.
Why?
Well, me being a grandma now, I know my babies are protected very well.
It's a whole lot upgraded than I had 10 years ago, so I'm learning new things about this car seat, and I'm very appreciative of Nye County Coalition helping everybody with car seats.
All too often we see families have to move the seat between car and car, and so if they have the right seat for their child, we want to make sure that they know how to safely move that car seat and how to safely install that car seat. They obviously left here with a seat installed by a professional, but we want to make sure that they have that knowledge so that they can take it home and transfer it between cars safely as well. The Office of Traffic Safety provides over 50 different grants to agencies just like this one to be able to provide these car seats to the public through federal funding. And so it's our privilege to be out here in Nye County again working with everybody to be able to provide these car seats. And it's vital to make sure that young kids are safe in the car.
The best way to find out about the car seat events is to call the Nye Communities Coalition at 775-727-9970. And just say that you're calling about the car seat event or the car seat checkpoint. What we can do for people here locally as well, they can call at any time and ask for a car seat appointment, and we just schedule an appointment with them. It's one-on-one. It's not an event, it's just at the coalition, and we show them the exact same things that we would do here.
Like Albert Bass said there, you can call Nye Communities Coalition, of course, and you can also get more information, including a list of upcoming car seat installation events, by going online to zerofatalities.nv.com.
Are you looking for a fur baby to share your life with? Well, Blue is looking for you. Here's our Save a Pet.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Blue is a male domestic short-haired cat, and he is looking for his forever home. He is a pretty color of gray. He's 6 months old and neutered. Cats are relatively low maintenance, which is why many people think they make the perfect pet. Blue is very sweet, loves to play, and would love to spend time purring on your lap. Want to visit with Blue? You can do that by visiting Desert Haven Animal Society at 1511 East Siri Lane in Pahrump. However, you do need to call them first at 775-751-7020.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, Nevada. It's John Kohler outside of the Artisan Cellars Vineyard and Winery here on 160 in Pahrump. It's a beautiful place that's open. Finally, the Nye County bars opened last night at midnight, and these guys were just chomping at the bit, and they have been for a long time to get open. What a great place. You can go in, check out their winery offerings. They've got a fantastic menu, actually. Good tapas, some panini sandwiches, all kinds of great flatbread pizzas and desserts. Great place to be on a Friday or Saturday night, especially because they open at 11, and Fridays and Saturdays they stay open until 9, so it's a great place for date night here in Pahrump. And we'll tell you about all the weather you can expect on your date night, your outdoor seating here at the Artisan Cellars, and the things you can expect this weekend when we return with the weather report. Come on back.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, and this is your weather update. Feeling fine in Fernley. 87 degrees was your high today, 54 low tonight. Fallon, 88 degrees, 45 for your low, and Carson City, good enough, 87 with a 44 tonight. Might want to throw on a sweater. Out in Tonopah, 82 is what you saw for a high today. And Rhyme Master Johnny K, check that out, 46 for low tonight. Goldfield, checking in at 84 degrees for a high, 46 for a low. Beatty, 88 and 56 for a low. Amargosa got all the way into the 90s, 91 degrees, just nipped in there. 59 for low tonight. Out in Las Vegas, 92 degrees was your high today. 68 will be your low tonight. That sounds downright pleasant. Out in Death Valley, a return to triple digits. 101 degrees is your high today, up 3 degrees from yesterday. And your low, checking in at 73 degrees. Not too bad. Out in Pahrump, well, let's take a look at the local forecast, shall we? Local weather, currently 90 degrees is your awesome temperature here in Paradise, Pahrump. 91 was your high today. Winds out of the west-southwest, 5 mile an hour. Of course, that brings in a little bit of smoke with it because everything in the west of us is on fire. So it's very dry, 10% humidity. Sunrise this morning at 6:24 a.m. Not a good time to be starting a fire in your own backyard, to tell you the truth. Okay, currently sunrise, okay, sunset tonight, 6:56 p.m. That's a loss of 3 minutes over yesterday. Bye-bye 3 minutes. I will miss you. I love my 3 minutes of daylight. Humidity 15% as we head towards morning. Winds going to be coming in from the east, and that will help a lot. East-northeast winds, 5 mile an hour. Low tonight, 62 degrees. But those winds, boy, oh boy, they're going to be changing a little bit. The winds of change are blowing, and that's good for the smoke forecast. Let's take a look at the week as we head out. Saturday, Sunday. Okay, look at this. It's going to be heating up just a little bit as we head on towards this next week. 98 degrees for a high on Saturday. 5 mile an hour winds out of the southwest. So we may see some smoke, but then look, a shift in the winds on Sunday. South-southeast winds to 12 miles an hour. 101 will be your temperature high on Sunday with a low of 70. And that's going to be about how it stays throughout the rest of the week. 99, 99, 98, 96, 93 for highs as we head towards Friday. But look at the winds out of the south, 13 miles an hour, 12 miles an hour, 11 mile per hour winds. Some pretty steady winds out of the south at a pretty good clip. Might want to lower the umbrella out by the poolside. And but that should really help with the smoke because the smoke is terrible. All right, let's take a look at this. This is fire suppression. Just got started up at the Lake Creek fire. And they had 0% containment through yesterday. They got started in on the south end last night. They're telling us they got about 6% containment at this point. They're rolling up from the south, and they're heading north with their fire suppression. Let's take more terrible pictures. Oh, look at this thing. Oh, my gosh. 176,000 acres have gone up, Lake Creek fire, Creek Lake fire, rather, and 60 structures, some other structures, a couple of commercial businesses. It's just a mess, and at 6% containment, boy, they can get working on that real quick anytime. Get that smoke cut down, get back to pleasant weather here in southern Nevada, and that will be our hope for the week coming forward. We'll keep a track on that fire and I'll let you know as they make progress, and hopefully we'll we'll be safe from the smoke with those southerly winds coming up this next week. Well, that's your weather report from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. I'm John Kohler. Good night.
All right. Well, we want to let everybody know that Artesian Cellars is open. It's at 731 South Highway 160. They are wine tasting.
I have heard so many good things from people who have stopped by there today.
Okay.
So that's where I think I'm going to end up tonight, Artesian Cellars.
Yes.
Oh, exciting.
Stop by there right north of the Calvada Boulevard. Tim and Pam are down there, and they have a wonderful menu as well. And they are open till 9 o'clock tonight and tomorrow night, and then they're open till 7 the rest of the week. So stop on by. They open at 11 a.m. It's beautiful.
Tastings and food. You set a great menu. I'm really excited.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Kohler. Thanks for joining us. Have a safe weekend.